The NBA playoffs are still raging, but let's be honest, the offseason madness is already here. While teams battle for the Larry O'Brien Trophy, front offices across the league are quietly, or not so quietly, preparing to reshuffle their decks. Draft boards are being finalized, trade calls are heating up, and the free agency frenzy looms on the horizon. The rumor mill? Spinning at warp speed. From potential seismic shifts in Cleveland to a calculated gamble in New Orleans, and even a bold experiment in San Antonio, the trade buzz is louder than ever. Here's a closer look at the latest rumblings shaking the league as teams dream of brighter futures, or brace for hard truths. Cleveland Cavaliers, a core four, facing the heat of reality. The Cleveland Cavaliers had one of the best regular seasons in franchise history, posting 64 wins, their second highest total ever. But in the NBA, regular season triumphs mean little when playoff exits come early. For the second consecutive year, the Cavs were bounced in the conference semifinals, and though injuries played a role and the red-hot Indiana Pacers certainly didn't help, Cleveland's leadership may be questioning whether this roster has truly peaked. According to Chris Fedor of Cleveland.com, the team is wrestling with a pivotal decision: tweak the edges or consider a shakeup. They prefer to keep the core four together and see if they can build around them and find the right pieces around them. In saying that, I think the two untouchables are Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley. That statement, subtle as it may sound, sends a clear message. Darius Garland and Jarrett Allen are no longer locked in stone. For a team banking on Mitchell's commitment and Mobley's ascension, it's not shocking to hear they're reevaluating the rest. Let's be real. Garland is an electric offensive engine, and Allen is a dependable two-way anchor. But questions linger. Are they the ideal complements to Mitchell's alpha scoring and Mobley's emerging defensive dominance? With the Eastern Conference in a state of flux, Giannis Antetokounmpo's uncertain future in Milwaukee, and Jason Tatum battling injuries in Boston, Cleveland may sense a rare window of opportunity. But to seize it, the Cavs may need to risk comfort for upside. Don't be surprised if Garland or Allen headlines trade rumors heading into the draft. New Orleans Pelicans, still betting on Zion's potential. Let's talk about one of the league's most frustrating superstars, Zion Williamson. When healthy, Zion is a walking highlight reel, a bulldozing force of nature who makes defenders look helpless. His numbers speak volumes: 24.7 points, 6.6 rebounds, 4.3 assists per game, while shooting a staggering 58.9% from the field. But here's the catch: availability. Since being selected number 1 overall in 2019, Zion has played more than 30 games in just 2 of his 6 seasons. That's not just concerning, that's franchise-altering. And yet, the Pelicans are still clinging to hope. All parties feel pretty good about where things stand with the Pelicans-Williamson marriage heading into next season, reported William Guillory of The Athletic. It's a complicated situation. On one hand, Zion's commitment, fitness, and long-term durability remain massive red flags. On the other, his talent is the kind you don't find twice. A potential generational weapon who can swing a playoff series. The Pelicans' front office seems committed to running it back at least one more time, betting that Zion's best is still ahead of him. And if they're right, the reward could be a deep playoff run and a shot at contention in a wide-open West. But if they're wrong, New Orleans may have to explore a future without its once promising cornerstone. San Antonio Spurs, Wemby's world, and a KD dream. Let's switch gears to the most fascinating young team in the league, the San Antonio Spurs and their alien in residence, Victor Wembanyama. Wemby's rookie season was a spectacle, flashes of generational dominance, wrapped in a 7 feet 4 inches frame with guard skills. The Spurs, meanwhile, mostly watched and learned, but the time for patience may be over. Midway through last season, they reportedly made a major play for De'Aaron Fox, signaling their willingness to accelerate the rebuild around their once-in-a-lifetime star. But that wasn't all. Pershams Charania, the Spurs had mutual interest in another blockbuster swing, Kevin Durant. Yes, that Kevin Durant. The 35-year-old scoring phenom might not align perfectly with Wemby's timeline, but in terms of fit, he's tailor-made. The Spurs are desperate for wing scoring, playmaking, and veteran presence. Durant checks every box and then some. Of course, the idea of pairing a teenage unicorn with an aging superstar might seem risky. But with Wembanyama reportedly healthy and ready for training camp, the Spurs might be eyeing a bold leap. From rebuilding squad to championship dark horse. If the price is right,